Hey, there we are. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Parasocial Pals, the only podcast where we find out just how many butts there are in space. I'm your host, Papa Strell. With me, as always, is my co-host, Nick. Nick, how you doing today?
Hello. Infinite space, infinite buttholes.
Yep, that is... I mean, for now, eventually that would curve in the other direction. Unless
Yeah,
we're saying
so
there's some
you know
sort of
how we're
butthole entropy.
yeah, so speaking of how my morning's going, you know how we were talking about those cum smelling trees in
Oh, oh yeah, we're just annihilating this right off the bat. No, go on. Tell me about the trees.
so the algorithm served me a guy making ice cream out of those
Oh
trees.
God. Let me guess, it tastes divine. It's the most delicious thing you've ever tasted.
No, he almost puked on camera,
Okay, well, I guess we could call that justice in this universe of ours.
but he also used the tree to carve a bowl and spoon to eat it with.
Oh, that probably made it worse.
Yeah. And for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, it's the what is it called? Like something pear blossom.
Ugh, I can't type it on screen, so let's.
The
I
calorie
can't.
pear tree.
Yeah.
The calorie pear tree. You probably seen or smelled these in your local parking lot because apparently they're just everywhere. Because urban planners love them for some reason.
Really? Maybe they're
But
incredibly hardy.
I believe they do well in urban environments.
Ah, fucking hysterical.
So yeah, they have a smell that smells like cum.
Dude goo.
And yeah, we were talking about it, and the algorithm overheard me, and now
And now you're getting recipes. And now you're getting fucking natural harvest recipes.
now I'm getting tree content in my feed,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to watch it.
He has to. It's required by law, or will be soon.
Some people say knowledge is forbidden. Not me.
Some people say knowledge is power. Again, not me.
Well, how's your morning going?
It's a lot less coming, I'll tell you that much. Um, it's been going all right. My father made too many cinnamon rolls, so I went over to
Oh,
his house to grab some
what
cinnamon
a
rolls.
shame.
Yeah, and really the worst thing that could happen on a Sunday morning. Um, so had some homemade cinnamon rolls for breakfast. That was pretty nice. Um, slept in a little too late. Didn't get to do my Japanese lesson. I'll probably do that after this.
Well,
But
are you doing it through what Duolingo or
no, so
another
I
thing?
I did some so originally my plan was to get Rosetta Stone because I saw a
Mm-hmm.
thing through my work like, oh, you can get Rosetta Stone forever for like half off the price. And then I checked and they don't do that anymore. They only do
Oh,
monthly subscriptions because we live in hell.
yeah.
And it was like,
A
oh,
lot of
you can get
programs are
like
like that these days.
$5 off a monthly subscription. I'm like, how about you get a $5 off my dick? So I did some Googling and there were some people like, yeah, there's some apps that you could use. Here's some stuff they recommended. So there's a website. I think it's called Tofugu.
Hmm.
And they've got a bunch of free PDFs that are just like workbooks. So
Okay.
I'm starting back at the very basics. I'm just learning the hiragana, or katakana. I forget which one it is. But yeah, I just downloaded a free PDF, so I've been going through that, and they've got some helpful mnemonics for remembering which symbols are
Hmm.
which symbols and sounds and how you can associate them in English. Because I did a little bit more research into Rosetta Stone, and apparently their big thing is like it's fully visual. It's just matching pictures with sounds and words. Once you select a language, the entire program is in that language. There is none of your
Oh,
native language whatsoever anywhere. So it's kind of immersive. It's 100% visual based, but you're not really learning. You are learning grammar, but it's through like trial and error.
Oh,
It's not like teaching you. So they're like, it's fine if that's your kind of thing, but it's not, you're not going to fully learn the language from that. So I was like, well, that on top of having a monthly means go fuck yourself.
yeah. Immersive learning is tough because if you learn through like watching anime, you're just gonna end up sounding like an anime character to
That
everyone.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, I could just watch anime, and then I was in the car. I was like, if I told a Japanese person watch TV to learn English and all they watched is The Sopranos, that might be a problem.
Yeah, maybe watching like news broadcasts or something. I don't know.
I'm sure there's some like children's shows in Japanese that I could
Yeah,
find and watch once I get to the point where I can at least recognize all the sounds. But right now it's literally just relearning the it's not an alphabet, but their phonetic system and
yeah.
learning the symbols.
Like if you just want like typing practice, I think Duolingo is good enough for that. But
I did do
I also
Duolingo
know
for a bit.
Duolingo
And
is not good for any like advanced stuff.
yeah,
It's
Duolingo's
just
good for
Skitterbox.
the very basic. And the one thing that actually has been super helpful is the mnemonics in this one. Like, hey, the E sound, the symbol looks like a couple of eels.
Mm.
And the caw kind of looks like a mosquito. And you really gotta squint your eyes, but they draw a little stylized mosquito, and I'm like, okay, I can see that. So there's some helpful stuff in
What
there.
were the ones that were like super similar were like so and right?
Yeah, there's like even the very first set, like ah and o are very similar. It's just like the bottom has a double loop on one and it
Yeah.
doesn't on the other. So off the
There's
bat,
like
they're like,
somewhere like the little top apostrophe is just reversed a little or
yeah,
something.
or it doesn't have one. Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
got that far, but I'm certain there's going to be like this one has an apostrophe, this one doesn't.
Yeah. Well, wait till you get to what is it? Kanji.
Yeah,
Everyone
kanji
hates
is
kanji.
that one. There's multiple apps that are just like learn kanji vocabulary, and once I get a grasp on everything else, that'll be the next one.
Yeah, that's a weird one because it just like it's like hieroglyphics. It's just this symbol means this thing.
Yeah, it's literally just
Or like
learning, and there's a lot more mnemonics that even the Japanese use. Like, oh, the forest one looks like multiple of the tree symbol, and the house one kind of looks like a house, and it's literally just memorizing shit.
yeah.
Which means I'll probably forget what a bunch of magic cards do in exchange, but that's probably for the best.
Oh, yeah, just pick pick the worst set you know and forget all that. Forget the Ninja Turtle cards.
There's like two that are good. Yeah, no, we can forget those.
Forget the Outer Wilds so you can play it again.
Yeah, God, man, if I could. Outer Wilds was so good. Speaking of space travel, we're here to talk about
Oh yeah,
Star Trek.
we are indeed. The episodes we watched last night were the Doomsday Machine and Cat's Paw. Um, 2 episodes of time. Not
Yes.
all time, but of time.
They are two of the episodes of all time.
Um, I guess we'll just get into the synopsis for Doomsday Machine, huh?
Yes, the Doomsday Machine.
So our cast this time is, well, we have Captain Kirk, Spock is there, McCoy's there kind of briefly. Scotty and Sulu are there. We have a replacement for Uhura, which was weird.
Yeah, super weird. No Hora and no Chekhov.
Yeah, no Chekhov. Our buddy Kyle was there.
Kyle's there. Kyle's always fucking there.
And then our guest star of the episode, of which there's only one, everyone else is dead, is Commodore Matt Decker, who plays the role of Captain Ahab in our adaptation of Moby Dick. So to get into the quick synopsis, the Enterprise crew finds a bunch of rubble where there should be planets, and as they're investigating, they find a wrecked starship, what I think it's the Constellation they call it.
Yes, the Constellation. which I thought was a real constellation for a second until I found out it was a ship.
They find the constellation. They search the ship. They find a single survivor who was the. I guess he's not the captain because he's a commodore.
Yeah, it's weird.
The
I think he was.
he's the highest ranking officer on the ship.
Yeah, if nothing else.
They find him. He's flipping out because he accidentally killed his crew. He describes a giant machine that destroyed all of the planets and also attacked his ship. He beamed his crew down onto a planet, and then it ate the planet that they were on, leaving him the sole survivor. They beam him back to the Enterprise, and they remain on the ship to investigate more. And then things happen, and he takes over the Enterprise and goes on a full vengeance crusade against the thing by pulling rank on Spock, who Spock just goes along with for some reason.
Yeah, Spock's no Scotty.
The episode ends with him basically trying to commit suicide after being mutinied upon. And then Kirk gets the idea from him that, oh, hey, blowing ships up inside it hurts it. So he blows up the bigger ship inside it and kills it. And then they go away.
And no other questions are asked or answered.
They alter the logs so that he does Commodore doesn't seem like a complete idiot. And then they fly away.
Yeah, what an episode. Yeah, like you were saying, it starts off and we're looking at the bridge, and I'm like, who's that fucking white woman in Uhura's chair?
I know.
And I don't remember if they gave her a name or not. She certainly had some lines, but
kind of reminds me of that. Have you seen that Joe Biden stealing a woman's blackness comic?
I don't believe I have.
I'm not sure you want to put that up, but
yeah, probably won't.
Basically, it was making fun of something where he's like, if you don't vote for me, you're not really black, and someone just drew that. It's like a black woman refusing to vote for him, and he drained the blackness from her, turning into a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman.
Like the fucking Emperor Palpatine.
Basically.
Jesus.
But, yeah, I guess that happened to Uhura in this episode.
Yeah, I was going to ask if there was anything mentioned in the trivia for the episode. Was this episode filmed before they got her on? Because also Chekhov wasn't there, and he's been in every episode of season 2. So my first thought was, is this an old episode that they didn't have room for in the first season or something?
I don't think so.
Interesting. Okay, yeah.
Says first filmed June 1967. So I think that's after most other things.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess Nichelle was just fucking on vacation that week or something.
Let's see. Yeah, the wiki just says they're absent, doesn't say why.
Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, there's a white woman doing Uhura's job, and in my opinion, not nearly as well.
No, she was unable to do several things that Uhura just makes happen.
Yeah, she'll rewire a whole fucking console if she needs to. We do get a shot of Sulu. He's there. He doesn't do much, but he's there. There's somebody sitting next to Sulu who's not Chekhov, so I was like, what's going on in this episode? Where's all the fucking people?
Sulu does get to give a lot of side eye in this episode.
He does, yeah. Sulu's a lot of I guess. I feel like this was an older episode thing, but maybe it's just because it's so old. But they kept saying sensors. They put a lot of stress on the sore part of sensor, which is just really funny.
Nimoy has always said it like that.
I feel like, I feel like he eased up.
Everyone
at some
was saying
points,
it like that this time.
Yeah. So yeah, as so many episodes start, they're going to some place and it's just fucking disappeared. The place isn't there anymore. It's just a bunch of space rubble.
I mean, there's one of three things that happens on this. They are they discover a planet where there's life where there shouldn't be. They discover a planet where there is no life where there should be, and they discover nothing where there should be something,
Yeah, that's every
or
episode
something
of
where there
Star
should be
Trek.
nothing.
Yeah. Um, I guess so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't there several episodes of later Star Treks like TNG where it's just like it's on the ship the whole time and they don't really interact with anything out, like it's purely like something's on the Enterprise. Um,
Yeah, there's a few bottle episodes.
I
Yeah.
I bring it up because I feel like we haven't gotten anything like that. There's always some exterior person or place or force. It's not just like a day in the life of the Starship Enterprise.
Um, TNG does have some like slice of life episodes. But yeah, I think that's not really a thing they did back in the 60s.
Yeah, which I mean, it
Nobody's
makes
interested
sense.
in that.
The premise of the show being like they're going to look for new shit. Like humans on a spaceship is the one thing that we're familiar with. So why would we spend a whole fucking episode on that? It's just something
Yeah.
that I thought of.
No, I don't think people were really interested in that at this point in time.
Yeah, they want to see cool alien shit and weird alien stuff. Um, Funny how times
I
change.
would love to see a day in the life of Dr. McCoy
I
and just
God,
see how
yeah.
many
How many mint juleps he pounds in a day,
7 mint juleps, huh? And it's only noon.
and it's only noon. Maybe we
Is that a
gotta
lot? It's not a little.
not a little, 2 or 3. So yeah,
What
they
happens between getting onto the transporter deck and leaving your office?
have lunch. What's for lunch?
Mint julep?
Hmm.
How many mint juleps would you say you have with lunch? Like 1 or 2.
I'll put 2. So, amidst the rubble of multiple planets, they find a damaged but still habitable constellation ship. The life support is barely holding on. The rest of it is severely damaged.
Yeah. I
They
believe they said the bridge was like uninhabitable.
Yeah.
And, like the the antimatter things were shot.
Yeah, the
Or whatever.
antimatter was fucking denatured or whatever, which is a thing you can fucking do somehow. Who knows? And I don't think they initially don't discover any life, so then they send the captain, the chief engineer Scotty, and medical officer McCoy down to go check it out. And some red and blue and yellow shirts.
Yeah, nothing ends up happening to the red shirts, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's
Or
a very,
fortunately for
very
them, I guess.
safe red shirt episode.
Yeah, only one person dies in this episode.
Yeah.
Sad. Well, unless you count the off-screen deaths of like his 400 crewmen.
Yeah, we don't. They're not Enterprise crew. They don't count.
Yeah, they kind of go through an extended sequence of like going through all of the ship sets, but with the lights off.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
it's the same ship.
yeah, it's the exact same ship. They have like random crap strewn about, so it looks like it's been hit. But yeah, especially when they got to engineering, I'm like, that's the same fucking engineering set you used 2 episodes
It's
ago.
so much the same ship that they reuse the same numbers that were on the ship.
Yeah, that was weird.
Our Enterprise is what, the
1701.
1701, and the constellation is the 1017.
Yeah. Like literally just fucking flip the 01 to the other side and flip them upside down.
I think I joked that they probably only had those number decals.
Yeah. We've only got 1s, 7s, and 0s, sir. All right, make it work. You know what? Next time I'll ask my dad how ship numbering works. Maybe specific classes of ship all have to have similar numbers or something. Who knows?
That would severely limit the number of ships you're able to make, but okay.
Well, who knows? So yeah, they get to the ship. They have like one of them has a really big like megaphone gun that doesn't come into play, but I noticed it was just weird looking.
I seeing a trivia thing on the ship, on the wiki. The year this episode was filmed, AMT produced the first Enterprise model kits. One such kit was used to used for the destroyed constellation. So they just
Oh,
grabbed a model kit
so
from
it
a store.
literally was just the fucking Enterprise, but with, oh my god, yeah. Ah, well, we won't. We'll say hi to Maker in a minute.
So yeah, the reason the numbers of the rearranged decals is because that's the decals that came with the ship
That's so
model.
funny. It actually is. Thank you, Maker. I do have a beard. Um. So yeah. They do eventually find one individual on the ship. Because they're looking around, they can't figure out what's happened, and they decide to, oh, we're gonna go to the room with the computer, and we can ask for the computer logs, and that's where the Captain Commodore whatever is. Um,
Yeah, he's like catatonic at first,
I
right?
I thought for sure he was dead. Yeah, he's just like sitting in a chair, slumped over, and I'm like, oh, this guy's dead. And then McCoy, being McCoy, is like, all right, let me shoot him up with some drugs that I have in my syringe at all times.
And to describe this man, I said he looks like Hunter Biden.
Yeah, imagine Hunter
Imagine
Biden.
Hunter Biden, but like with real Cragley, without the like, I don't know, whatever magic he uses to stay unwrinkly.
Yeah, much more
Must be all
craggly,
the prostitutes. I don't know,
more of a receding hairline.
like 5 o'clock shadow.
Mm-hmm. Just as much cocaine,
Like,
but
and his eyes are all like bleary, and he's probably super dehydrated too.
yeah, Hunter Biden. Huh? So yeah, they McCoy shoots him up with a syringe, and he wakes up and he's going a little bit crazy. He's like, "Oh no, it's gonna get me! It's gonna oh wait." So they're trying to get information out of him, like what the fuck happened here? Where are all the planets? What happened to your ship? And he's going a little bit crazy.
Yeah, McCoy like gives him the entire upper hypo.
Mm-hmm. The only thing they're able to really get out of him is that it was some sort of robot. He specifies that it was a robot. And that he tried to save the crew by transporting them down to the third planet. And Kirk is like, there is no third planet. There's only two planets. And he's like, yeah, I know that. By the way, they're dead.
Yeah, he does some capital A acting in this scene.
Yeah. Just really just acting up the shame and horrific feeling of sending your entire crew down to a planet right before it's destroyed. He described,
like, I stayed on the ship because the captain's supposed to stay. The captain's
yeah,
supposed to go down with the ship,
yeah.
and then oops.
Oops, that's the one thing that didn't go down. I think he described that it cut up the planet with like a beam of pure anti-protons. They got real specific about it. It wasn't necessary at all. But I imagine just like a giant robot with a chef knife carving up a planet. And then eating.
We kind of see it do its like Godzilla laser breath at the ship.
Yeah, it does. He also describes it eating the planet, I believe. Like it's refueling itself or something. And I think this is the point where they decide, hey, we should get this guy back to the Enterprise so McCoy can give him a better medical exam than shooting him up with drugs. But Kirk...
I forget when Kirk does his like speculation on what this thing is, and that's the most explanation we're gonna get on it.
I think it's shortly after this when he's like with Scotty and they're trying to get the ship like reactivated. I don't remember why he even gives a shit about turning this ship back on.
I remember Decker being like, "To hell with your speculation! It's killing people now. We need to do something."
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe they detect it. I don't remember exactly. I do have the H bomb thing, but it's a little bit later.
Oh yeah, they also say like this thing has like a a field around it that kills communication and antimatter or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a fucking anti-subspace field, so they were unable to contact
They
Starfleet or anyone to warn them.
Yeah, they can't contact Starfleet, and if they're too close to it, they can't even contact both ships.
Yeah, they don't even have near ship communication. Um,
Uh, uh,
yeah,
yeah,
just
well, at some point, Kirk says it's a leftover Doomsday weapon from a alien species outside our galaxy.
yeah, they speculate. They're like, what is this? Is what does it do? It just destroys planets. It doesn't seem to do anything. Or maybe it's a doomsday weapon. Its only purpose is to destroy, like the old H bombs. You know, those quaint little things from long ago.
Like Kirk goes, well, it was probably never supposed to be used, but whoops, they
Yeah,
ended up using it, and now it's
oopsie, and
loose.
now it's just going like some sort of infinity ray.
Yeah, at some point, before or after that, they send Decker back to the
I think it's
ship.
just before that. I wrote
Yeah.
down that there's a point where McCoy says, "I'm a doctor, not a mechanic."
Yeah.
So I think he was helping Scotty with something, but eventually they send Decker and McCoy back to get him checked out, and they stay on the ship to fix something. We get a shot of the transporter room, and we get to see our favorite lieutenant. I keep saying lieutenant. I don't think everyone on the ship's a fucking lieutenant, but it's
Everyone
the
with a name is a lieutenant.
yeah, the people with ranks I hear the most is lieutenant. So Lieutenant Kyle is there doing his fucking job as always. Yeah, they get
Is Kyle the transporter guy now? I guess he
I think
is.
he is. He's
Sometimes he's on the bridge. Sometimes he's on the transporter.
yeah. I think he's usually in the transporter room, but sometimes I definitely see him in the bridge. So I maybe like Sulu, you know, he's just a jack of all trades.
Hmm.
They McCoy and Decker go to the bridge for some reason, and that's when they see the robot for the first time, the giant blue space worm.
Yeah, it looks like a big leech, I guess, with a
Yeah,
glowing mouth.
big glowing blue leech with like a fucking fiery maw of death.
Which is to say, another space butthole.
Another space
Yet
butthole.
again,
Yes.
it's the perfect shape. The toroid.
um. So
We looked at the what is it? The post effects, the
oh yeah,
remake
the remake did
compared to the
effects.
original. I like the original more.
I like it. The original looks like paper mache. The redone ones at least make it look like metal, but like, you know, that's multiple decades later, so it's understandable. I think the original was perfectly serviceable. I think it got the point across just fine.
I feel like I don't know the just like with the Corbomite maneuver ship. I kind of liked the less organic or the less metallic look of the original.
Yeah.
It kind of appears a little bit more organic in a way.
Yeah, I could see that. And more otherworldly since it's supposedly from another
Yeah,
galaxy. Even though they say specifically that it's made of like neutronium or whatever, so it is something that they're
yeah.
familiar with.
Apparently,
Yeah.
why don't you just build your ships out of neutronium,
Yeah.
huh?
Well, why don't you just build the whole ship out of the black box?
Why doesn't Doctor Wiley just make everything out of the Met helmets?
Yeah, seriously though. Um, I don't remember what happens or why, but surprise, the transporter breaks. So now Scotty and Captain Kirk are stuck on the Constellation.
Yeah, they're stuck there. Decker's on the original ship, hovering around the bridge because he doesn't want to go get it checked out.
Yeah, as he knows he's fucked up. Um, and then this is I wrote down that McCoy does a little racism, and I don't remember exactly what he said, but I'm sure it was something to Spock.
What did he say? Ugh. I forget. It was
Yeah.
probably something about
It,
Spock being a computer or some
yeah,
shit.
probably something about Spock's mom being a computer. Anyway, I think this is the point where they determine that it's heading for like Rigel system or something. Um,
Yeah, he's heading for a colony,
yeah,
a
it's heading for a
populated
colony,
colony.
and Spock, who's currently in command of the ship because Kirk is off the ship, is like, all right, we gotta go back and get the transporter fixed so that we can get Captain Kirk and Scotty back here. And that's when Commodore goes full fucking dickhead mode and
Mm.
is like, hey, I'm a Commodore, which means I'm the highest ranking officer on this ship, which means I'm taking it, and we're gonna go shoot that thing that I already tried to kill once and failed.
Yeah, Spock repeatedly says, like, this is stupid, you're being stupid.
Yeah,
Commodore's not hearing it.
Commodore's literally not hearing it.
But he also capitulates to his rule lawyering, which I feel like is out of character for Spock, but also it needs to happen for the episode to happen.
It does need to happen. I mean, Spock is a man who loves regulations, and as much as he likes logic, he likes rules. You know, rules govern logic or some such bullshit.
He also loves taking over the ship when he feels like he needs to.
He does. But yeah, fucking Spock eventually relinquishes control of the ship to the Commodore, and they speed off towards the like absolutely massive space worm. It's not like similar size to the Enterprise. It's hundreds of times bigger. And this guy's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill it with phasers. They don't bring up photon torpedoes once.
No. He's like, I'm gonna hit it with all of our phasers from point blank.
Yeah,
and that'll do it.
He's like, the problem is we weren't close enough to shotgun our lasers, so now we're gonna get real up in it.
I don't think that's how a laser works, but okay. I don't
Pretty
think
sure
the distance
that's
matters.
how a laser works.
In the vacuum of space, I don't think the laser's gonna lose any energy.
Nope.
Like point blank or far away is not gonna matter.
Yeah.
Oh, I will mention like before that, like when Spock and Commodore are having their tit for tat, there's like a really awkward moment with Sulu where he's like, who do I obey?
Yeah, because Spock is giving orders, and then fucking Commodore's giving orders, and eventually Commodore's like, all right, I am in command now. You will do what I say. And then Sulu's like, okay.
Because like Commodore gives an order and Sulu looks to Spock and Spock's like, follow my previous order, Spock.
Yeah.
Sulu.
Yeah, right before the Commodore demands fucking command of the ship. He's like, no, Sulu, you do what I say. I'm the daddy.
And
but
then Spock gives up the chair.
Yeah, Spock gives up the chair. Dickhead sits in the chair. He's also got his little fucking.
And he really sits in that chair.
Boy, does he! He's the Riker of his time.
In that chair.
He's got his little fidget notepads, and he's just literally chewing on shit.
Is the little data pucks that look like post-it notes?
Yeah,
he's like teething on them all
literally
the time,
biting into it,
like sliding them together.
So I think this is the point where McCoy comes in and he's like, Spock, you need to fucking take control of the ship. And Spock's like, no, I won't do a mutiny. And McCoy's like, well, I'll just declare him unfit for duty. Then you can take it. And Spock is like, cool. Do you have the medical records that prove that? And McCoy's like, you know, I don't, man. Spock says, well, then I can't do that.
Yeah, I mentioned while we were watching that in like TNG, the doctor could just on the spot go, yeah, you're not fit for duty.
And that would be that.
That would be that. But that's I guess like 100 years in the future.
Yeah, when it's
something
much easier to have a robot doctor lie for you. So yeah, McCoy storms off probably to make himself a mint julep. Spock, knowing that this is a fucking bad idea, can't do anything because Starfleet regulations.
To be fair, Spock kind of is on like, he's probably on probation as far as Starfleet regulations go from the last time he pulled this kind of shit.
Yeah, I guess so. When he spirited his old captain away and took an entire ship. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
they're probably like, "Hey, Spock, we're gonna forgive you this time because it worked out, but you do this
You
again,
do this again and you're
you disobey
fired
regulations again,
out of a
and we're
cannon.
gonna show you what we do in the mirror universe."
Um, this is the point where we cut back to the Constellation, and Kirk and Scotty are trying to get the ship moving. Scotty finds the fucking Omega tricorder, which I'm not entirely sure what it does, but it's fucking huge.
No, apparently you need it.
Yeah, you,
And Kirk has the little like
HDMI
looks like one of those
underscore
puff
cap,
duster
little hot
things they
button.
use for computers.
the what?
But it's like, oh, you know that like orb thing with a nozzle on it that you use to like dust off a computer?
Oh yeah.
He has one of those, but apparently it's used for welding in the future.
What? Okay, yeah, sure. You just heat it up and it's welding.
Well, it also had like glowing lights on the tip or something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's a fucking space tricorder. That's what it's for. Also, thanks for the follow, HDMI
yeah.
cable.
But yeah, everybody's trying to fix the constellation.
Yeah,
I think they were trying to get back impulse power because like everything else is shot.
Yeah, the main engines are completely shot, but Scotty's like, "Oh, we got impulse power, so I'll give her all she's got, Captain." Kirk has been unable to communicate with the Enterprise since the transporter's been out, so he knows that the Enterprise has gone, but he doesn't know why or what's going on. So I think he's trying to fix the radio or something, sitting in his chair. And then I believe we cut back to the Enterprise, who is now they are in pursuit of the big blue worm, and they are being attacked. And we get Spock looking at his console saying they cannot take much more of this.
Doing his best Scotty impression.
His best Scotty impression as they get fucking like, remember, this thing can destroy planets, but it can't blow up the Enterprise in one shot.
Well, it swallows the planet.
It does swallow the planet. You're right.
I know they speculated that it's supposed to be a weapon. Honestly, it makes more sense if it's just construction equipment. If it's like, yeah, this thing breaks up planets,
Yeah,
and then turns them into energy.
Yeah, that would make
and
sense.
that's what it's for.
Yeah, it is
not meant to like take phasers in the mouth.
Yeah,
it's just supposed to swallow a planet.
It just fucking swallows up rocks and cuts them up, and it's supposed to be part of a bigger ensemble that isn't here for whatever reason. Yeah, I could see that.
But they think it's a weapon, and that's the best explanation we're ever going to get. So
certainly what it's used for.
It must be true, because Kirk is never wrong about anything ever.
Ever. Oh yeah, I think this is the point where Kirk gets like the view screen going, and he sees like a camera shot of the Enterprise going towards the ship, because they have fucking Delosian cameras in the ship or something.
Those cameras work however they want to work, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, before that, didn't like Scotty ask a guy to like help him with the phaser banks or the impulse power, and Kirk's like, "No, you're with me. Get the screen on. Turn my TV on."
Yeah. He fucking delegated super good. Yeah. Because he wants Scotty to get more power. And he's like, "All right, lad, come with me." And Kirk's like, "No, you stay here and get my fucking view screen going."
It's like, well, captain's the captain. Sorry, Scotty.
Yeah.
You're on your own.
He outranks you even over here. I can't even read my own notes, so it can't be that good. Yeah, I think maybe it's just like the Enterprise keeps getting shot. Eventually the shields are almost out. Scotty manages to get the impulse engines working on the Constellation, and they're able to move close enough to finally get radio contact back with the ship. That's when Kirk says, "Well, Scotty, you earned your pay for the week," which is great because he was fired last week.
That's got to be like some kind of Federation inside joke, because they don't have money.
That's what I was thinking. Like, they mentioned credits earlier, and I feel like that was the first time they'd ever mentioned credits.
Well, obviously, at this point in the canon, they haven't like nail down how the economics of the Federation work.
Yeah, and I mean it's supposed to be
But
like a utopia, so you don't need money.
yeah, um, they go into it a lot more in Deep Space Nine because they're interacting with cultures that do use money.
Ah, and they're like, oh
So
fuck, we don't have that.
there's a bit of strife between Starfleet and like the Ferengi on negotiating things because it's like
Oh yeah, because they're all
purely a
money.
barter system.
Like, nah, bitch, we want money.
But like they're all interacting with other species, and they're like, well, if we want to buy things, they're not just gonna take like a yo-yo from my pocket.
Yeah, I can't just give them a
They're gonna
chicken
take
for some shoes.
so. Yeah, that's interesting in the future, but
Yeah.
for right now,
For right now,
you earned
Scotty
your
earned his pay for the
your
week.
pay for the week.
So then they're finally able to get radio contact, and Kirk is understandably confused and angry. Like, hey, what the fuck are you doing to my ship, driving it into that goddamn space whale butthole?
Commodore tries to pull rank on him, and Kirk's like, "No, this is my
That's
baby."
my ship. You had your ship, and you fucking killed everyone. Fuck you.
It's like, and you ruined my butt indent in my chair.
I'm gonna have a whole new chair fucking redone now, you dick. So yeah, eventually Kirk tells fucking Spock, take command of this ship on my authority. You fucking throw the Commodore in the brig. And Spock is like, okay, now that I have someone to blame, I'll do it. So now, emboldened by his captain, Spock is ready to have the Commodore arrested, who at first protests, but eventually concedes.
I believe they do the thing where it's like, "You're bluffing, Spock," and Spock's like, "Vulcans don't bluff."
Vulcans don't bluff. And he's like, fuck, Vulcans don't bluff.
Terrible at poker, great at mutiny, I guess.
Mutiny and chess. Second best on the
Really
ship.
good
I
at
hear.
playing chicken.
So yeah, a red shirt takes the Commodore down to the brig, and in the fight hallway, guess what happens? That's right, a fight.
Oh yeah, the red shirt they send gets like, he puts up a good fight.
Yeah, he gets
It's a pretty
sucker
good fight
punched by
scene.
the Commodore, but they have a pretty good extended fight scene going back and forth.
It's a little bit of judo in there, a little bit of
Yeah,
MMA,
throwing him around, knocking the gun away.
some grapples,
Yeah, a little bit of
some
everything.
strikes.
But eventually
But the
the
Commodore ends up winning.
Yeah, the Commodore does end up winning, and he decides he's going to go down to the shuttle bay and grab a shuttle. So,
Grab one of those McDonald's McCheeses.
yeah, like the straight up McDonald's fucking Big Mac box shuttles. And everyone is naturally very confused. They're like, wait, who got this fucking shuttle? They call in and it's the Commodore, and he's like, yeah, I took the shuttle. I'm totally gonna kill it, guys. I'm not coming back. Bye.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his plan was there, but
Yeah, because the shuttle didn't even have like any weapons or anything. It was literally just a suicide mission.
yeah, because like, what did he think throwing a shuttle in there was going to do that eating a planet wouldn't do?
Yeah. And
I guess he overloaded his fuel cells or whatever and did 1% of damage to it.
maybe, yeah. We forgot to mention earlier that I think the Commodore wanted to like do something similar with the Enterprise, and Spock was like, that sounds like suicide. If you're attempting suicide, I will relieve you of duty for that. And he's like, fine, we won't kill ourselves, I guess.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, because they got
That
caught
was
in a
definitely
tractor
his
beam
plan
or
A.
something. And they're like, you need to pull out. And he's like, nah, stay in the tractor beam. We got him where we want him.
I think at this point, they don't explicitly say, but at this point, he's realized that he was about to kill another whole crew of people to avenge his first crew, and he knew that was a wrong at this point.
Yeah, he eventually realizes, oh, maybe that's not good. But I can kill myself. That's fine. Hopefully they have more fucking shuttlecraft. But yeah, he drives it into the mouth of the mouth of the machine. It explodes. It seems like nothing happens, but then somebody who's not Chekhov is like, oh, hey, look, it looks like it did like 1% damage, like you were saying. And that gives Kirk an idea. He's like, oh, well, if a little shuttlecraft did that, maybe if I drive a whole fucking starship in there, something bigger will happen. So
kind of a huge gamble, but yeah.
yeah,
It works out because Kirk is never wrong about anything ever.
never wrong about anything. So him and Scotty, still on the Constellation, are like, hey, Scotty, can you rig this thing to explode with a 30-second timer and then give me the button? Scotty's like, fucking yeah, it's my favorite thing to do, Captain. So he rigs that up, gives Captain Kirk the timer, and then they transport Scotty because his work is done, but Kirk needs to set the course into the thing's mouth. They transport Scotty, and then the teleporter malfunctions again. Oh no! So then Scotty's got to go fix
on
it
a 30-second timer. It's just like Galaxy Quest,
just
where it's like, oh yeah, it always works out at the last second.
At the last second, even if you press the button 10 seconds before. Yeah. So I think like Kirk gets in position and he's going towards the fucking big blue butthole, and he hits the 30-second timer, and then the transporter malfunctions.
Yeah.
So now Scotty's got to run down to engineering and fix it.
Yeah, he gets into one of those the tubes.
Yeah,
whatever, and there's sparks flying.
Vertical tubes with the sparks that we've definitely seen before.
And then he unsparks the sparks, and it works.
And he radios that it works, and it works, and the ship explodes in the fucking Doomsday's mouth, and just then Kirk is transported back to the Enterprise, and everything's okay. And they look at the giant space snake, and it's like, oh, that killed it. It's dead now.
I think the ending note is like, nuclear power is finally used for something constructive, huh?
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, the nuclear...
Finally we used a nuke for good.
Finally we used a nuke for good. The first time ever in history, I think they might have said.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think we talked about it during the episode, but like if they were being tactically minded, the smartest thing to do would have been to just get its attention and then kite it like a MMO mob until Starfleet was able to arrive.
Yeah, they're very unclear on whether or not it's actually faster than them or not. I think they say like it's faster but less maneuverable.
Spock said they had like 7 hours of power to be able to avoid it.
Yeah.
1 second. Where's my...
But yeah, it definitely would have been optimal to just fucking kite it or just go away and tell someone, but Kirk managed to solve the problem as he always does, being Captain Kirk. And I don't think there was no HR violations. There was no, well, yeah, I guess no HR violations. Nothing really at the end to wrap it up. They just sort of go.
Not in the sense of harassing someone, but I think what Decker did was violating the chain of command. I guess.
Technically it wasn't, but it was like fucked up. It's one of those things.
He knew he wasn't fit for duty. When he did that.
He did.
And a medical exam would have shown that, but he kind of avoided it on purpose.
Very purposefully. Spock should have pushed back harder against following like bad orders, but yeah.
So I can see why it's nominated for a Hugo, but I can see why it didn't win it.
Oh, I didn't realize you were nominated for a Hugo. I didn't say you won.
Yeah, I mean it's just Moby Dick in space.
Yeah, it's literally just space Moby Dick.
Philosophically, they do try to make a point about like mutually assured destruction and like nuclear power, comparing it to like, well, what happens to all these things after the civilization is gone?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's still dangerous.
Yeah, what happens?
Just gonna be lurking there.
What happens when you use the unusable? But
and then you're just gonna have all these nukes left over, and
It-
they're gonna hurt somebody eventually, right?
yeah, but we never really get into any insight as to where this thing came from or why it was used or any of that, if it was even purposeful. So it all just kind of goes nowhere.
See, there was a trivia thing I saw that was funny to me. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, one thing the Memory Alpha Wiki says is this episode has 6 alumni from the Twilight Zone. Like 4 of them are just regular Star
It,
Star Trek cast members, so I feel like that's cheating.
that is one of them fucking Commodore?
Yeah.
I wonder what the Twilight Zone it was in. It doesn't look familiar, but I definitely don't have a photographic memory of Twilight Zone.
But the regulars who were in Twilight Zone were Shatner, Nimoy, Doohan, and Takei.
Oh, Nimoy was in Twilight Zone? I didn't know that.
At some point, I guess.
Huh. Because I know Shatner with the gremlin on the plane, but I didn't know Takei was in Twilight Zone either. Maybe we'll have to find those episodes.
Tomorrow's yesterday. I guess there's a version of the script where Deckard doesn't die.
Nah, it's probably better that he died. I'm curious how that went, if he just like shot an unmanned thing in there or if they changed it completely.
I don't know. I think it's better that he dies.
100%. It's a better story for the character that he dies. I'm just curious how they would have did that. Or if the fact that they couldn't is why they changed the script.
Apparently, the guy who played Deckard did not realize that it was a Moby Dick adaptation until years later.
You know, that was Moby Dick, right? Oh, fuck, that was Moby Dick? Huh.
He thought the episode, quote unquote, seemed kind of silly with the planet eater and the spaceships and acted as though he was playing in a cartoon. Which, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was. You know what? Actually, a great choice on his part. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, let's move on to a non-Hugo Award nominated episode, Cat's Paw.
Okay, so Cat's Paw, we have our cast is ooh. Give me the cast list.
Uhura's back, I know
we
that.
We have our main trio, Kirk, Spock, McCoy.
Mm-hmm.
Uhura sitting in her chair. She doesn't get a lot to do this episode.
She doesn't, but at least she's there.
Scotty and Sulu are there, but I don't think they get any lines.
Yeah,
I think they're mind controlled the whole time.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I don't think they actually say anything ever.
We have Chekhov in a bad wig.
So bad.
We have a new guy, or maybe he's been there all along and we didn't care, but Desal.
Yeah,
takes
Desal.
over the captain's chair while Kirk's away. I don't know why.
Somebody's got to.
Like, he gets a lot of attention in this episode for some reason.
Yeah, they say his name a lot.
And then we have our two guests, our two antagonists, I guess. Sylvia and Korob. One has a normal human name, the other does not.
I wonder if they were born with those.
Yeah, Sylvia is a cat lady, a lady who can turn into a cat, and Korob he looks like a warlock.
Yeah, he does. Like a straight up, just like, think of a mid-level Dungeons and Dragons warlock. Now give him a red beard, you're done.
Yeah, this is where the title of our thing comes up, because this is a Halloween episode.
Oh, is it? Is it actually?
I believe it is specifically. So it was aired October 27th
That's
of 1976.
That makes so much more sense.
So I guess they find a planet that's weird, as they usually do. I think Sulu and McCoy were like the first landing party, and they're not responding to them.
Yeah. They like can't find them either. They seem to have
Oh, and
disappeared.
a third guy who ends up
Oh
dying
yeah, the one
because
death.
yeah. So yeah, they beam up a guy back who asks to be transported up. He dies immediately as soon as he transported back, and then a ghost voice comes out of his mouth telling them to leave the planet.
And that they're
They're not
cursed.
going to do that. Yeah, that the ship is cursed. They choose not to do that, and they beam down to the planet instead, and are immediately harassed by like witches and uh, the the planet has like a fog machine effect all over it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they find a castle, and then there's a black cat in the castle, and they keep going. Wow, this is the scariest shit I've ever seen. It's like it's straight from my subconscious.
It's got a vampire and an explosion.
Then they fall into like a Sen's Fortress style hole. The floor just collapses beneath them, and then they wake up in a dungeon.
Yeah.
Um, and then they find Sulu and Scotty, who have been brain wiped, I guess, and are being mind controlled to force them to go meet the Warlock, the Wizard of Oz. It's never really explained what these people really want from them.
Yeah. It seems like they want different things, but
But yeah, the guy is like talking to his cat like it's a person, and then the cat disappears and comes back as a lady. I don't think they ever explicitly, or they don't say immediately that the cat is the lady, but like it's so obvious to anyone from like 2026
yeah.
that this lady's a shapeshifter. Um, a lot of stuff happens in this episode that doesn't really fucking matter.
Yeah.
Um, like the end of the gist is that the lady is evil and that they're aliens. They're like another godlike alien thing. She loves being in a corporeal body and having feelings and sensations and doesn't want to let Kirk go
She just
because
wants
he's
to
so
mac
sexy.
on Kirk forever.
And then Kirk ends up smashing a magic wand and it turns them and the planet back to its original state. And they die and they fly off.
Yep.
And there's a few scenes on board the Enterprise where nothing really happens.
Nothing really happens, yeah. Um
So, yeah, they're captured by witches. Spooky stuff happens. That's
Spooky
the
space
episode.
witch. Chekhov doesn't mention Russia once this episode, so there's that.
He does get a little snippy with like the temp captain with his substitute teacher.
Yeah,
Where
he does.
Sal is like, "Hey, can you do this?" And Chekhov, or like he's like, "Hey, do you need help with that?" And Chekhov's like, "I can do it."
I
Jeez.
can do it. I'm 22. Um so I don't remember what it is, but they mentioned the cat's paw being a thing. Anyway,
Yeah, they
yes.
do name title drop the episode.
Yeah. Which is a rarity in these times. So yeah, Uhura's back. Scott and Sulu went down to the planet they're missing. The other guy, whose name I didn't write down, so it couldn't have been that important, eventually shows up on their scanners and is like, "Hey, beam me up." And they're like, "Where the fuck are Scotty and Sulu?" And he's like, "Beam me up. Just beam me up." So, all right, they beam him up. He shows up in the transporter room, immediately falls over, looks at Kirk, and is like, "Your ship is cursed. Leave." Bleh, and then he dies. Sadly, McCoy isn't there to pronounce him dead, but he's dead.
I think later in the episode they say like they basically all of this was just a trick to get them onto the planet for some reason.
I think the thing is like, I feel like Sylvia wanted them on the planet and other guy didn't, and they were basically just like
Yeah.
fighting.
Throughout the episode there's like a back and forth between them where he's like, "You can't do that." And she's like, yes I can."
Yes, I can, and I will. So yeah, Kirk, upon seeing his own crew member tell him that he must leave and is cursed, naturally does not leave and goes to the planet with basically the rest of the bridge crew. He brings fucking Spock and McCoy, and they go down to the planet. Chekhov has a really bad wig. He's working the scanners today, I guess. Um,
Yeah, he's looking through that microscope.
yeah, he's keeping an eye on them, and at some point they just disappear, and they're like, "What do you mean?" It's like he just fucking disappeared. I don't know. Um, and yeah, DeSalle is in charge. I guess he's the next in command after fucking Kirk, Scott, Sulu, Spock, and McCoy are gone.
Yeah, we're skipping over Uhura, I
We're
guess.
skipping Uhura. We're skipping even Chekhov. Fucking, it's DeSalle's time to shine.
Yeah, I don't know what Uhura's rank is.
Yeah, me neither. I don't. I just want
Is
to
she
say
lieutenant?
lieutenant.
I mean, it seems like you're what, ensign, then lieutenant, then
I do know that those,
chief, and
yeah,
then
those are all officer ranks.
yeah,
Except chief, I think, is enlisted, but I don't know
yeah.
that much about military ranks. Uh,
The only chief I know is O'Brien.
so yeah, the landing party is exploring the misty, foggy moors of the planet, and eventually come across three witches that are kind of like the bus at the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland. They're just like
Hmm.
fucking Macbething all over them, telling them that they're cursed and they need to leave.
So
Um,
they have like a lot of makeup on their face, but they're wearing like black robes, and I'm
mhm.
not sure how much of the like are they supposed to be like headless bodies, and you're not supposed to notice that they're like fucking stacked down there.
Yeah, I don't know because they did a bad job of it. But yeah, they do have a
Uh,
lot of makeup on their face to make them appear ugly and witch like. Um,
oh, the props and effects trivia says yes, they were only intended to be seen as floating severed heads.
but they fucked it up. That's funny.
On the yeah, black turtlenecks against a black backdrop with a light shining directly into the face. Unfortunately, the effect did not work. Turtlenecks can be clearly seen even in the remastered vision.
Very clearly. So yeah, it's just three fucking stacked women telling you to leave, which works all the time. And eventually they come upon just a straight up Dark Souls castle, and they try to scan it, and Spock is like, "Yeah, no, I can't scan it. I don't know what's going on here." But naturally, they go into the castle because fucking Kirk ain't gonna say no. And that's when they find the scariest thing of all, an angry black cat.
Yeah, I mean, it has like a necklace on it.
Yeah, it's got like a necklace, more than like a collar. It's got like a big dangly crystal thing. Um,
Yeah, it kind of looks like the Dark Crystal.
yeah, it does kind of look like the dark crystal. I didn't even think of that. Um, but yeah, they find a pissed off cat and then it runs away. And I should have brought my wife down so she could go kitty. And then they start talking about Halloween specifically, and Spock is like, "What's Halloween?" And they're
Yeah,
like, "Oh, you'd love it, you know,
you'd fit right
because
in.
you look like Satan."
Satan. You know, that cat is too cute for what they end up using it for later.
It is, yeah. It like it's the problem. The problem with like actor cats is they look too clean. Like that doesn't look like a
Mm,
shitty street cat, and you can't get a shitty street cat because they won't do what you want.
yeah. Well, nowadays they just CGI a cat and it would look like Garfield.
Yeah, it would look like Garfield. The magic card? Magic is Garfield
Yeah.
intended?
Everyone's favorite soul ring.
Yeah. Um so yeah, after they go into the castle, it cuts back to the Enterprise, and Chekhov is like, "Ah, fuck, they disappeared, man. I don't know where they are." So they can't see the castle from space, and now they don't know what happened to the crew. They're just gone, just like what happened to Scott and Sulu.
Okay, so I'm seeing a trivia note about DeSalle,
Mm-hmm.
explaining his whole thing, I guess. So, this is the third appearance of DeSalle,
Oh,
I
really?
guess. The character had been promoted to assistant chief engineer because the producers thought that they need someone in charge of main engineering while Scott is in command of the bridge. However, no situation arose and DeSalle never made another appearance. This is his last appearance.
This is his last appearance. Okay, so I guess
Get a promotion and get out.
that's the Navy, all right. So I guess junior engineer is next up on the captain roster. Okay.
Oh, another cast and crew note: the guy who plays the Warlock, Korob,
Yep.
died a month after this episode aired in a car crash.
Oh
R.I.P.
shit. That fucking sucks.
Yep. He
Damn.
probably never even got to see it air.
Yeah, I was gonna say, fucking, he probably didn't even see it. That sucks.
Yeah, well, he is immortalized in our Blu-ray.
He's immortalized in the Blu-rays for all time until disc-based media stops, which may be sooner rather than later.
Until my Blu-rays get disc rot.
Yeah, oh God, I'm dreading those days. It's harder and harder to turn on my N64. Let me tell you. So yeah. Anyway, Kirk and Spock and McCoy are walking through the castle, and then they just fall through the floor, like you were saying, just a Sense Fortress trap. Thankfully, no fucking spike poles or multiple giant demons.
Mm.
Um,
Kirk does dodge roll a lot.
he does. I think he'd do pretty well in a Dark Souls environment.
We're lucky that Paramount doesn't have the money, because they would have made a Souls-like Star Trek game.
Give them time. They might be working on it. Who knows? Oh, didn't they do a video game based on the new Trek movies with Chris Pine?
They probably did.
I think I remember seeing those are bad. I kind of want to play it.
I have to imagine it would have been like a ripoff of Mass Effect, which is ironic given that Mass Effect is a ripoff of Star Trek.
Everything is cyclical. It rhymes.
Yeah. Oh, another trivia note I see here is that this is the first episode to feature all 7 of the classic cast.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because
I guess we've always had at least one person missing, but this one's got everybody. They don't all get lines.
Yeah, everybody on the poster is here today. Yep, one way or another. So yeah, they fall through the floor. It has to
be a dog shit episode.
And unfortunately, it's the Halloween special, which they hadn't perfected. It wasn't until The Simpsons in 1991 with Treehouse of Horror, with the Halloween episode, was truly perfected. So yeah, they fall through.
They are some of the best episodes of The Simpsons, I'll say.
Hands down, I think, because everyone's so passionate about it. They want, it's their one chance to do something different.
And Futurama kind of carried on the tradition with the scary door.
I like the scary door. I like the first Christmas episode of Futurama. Sadly, I feel the Christmas episodes got worse after that.
Well, yeah, because John Goodman wasn't in them.
I heard people say that John Goodman is the worst Santa, and they're fucking insane.
How could he be the worst anything that he's in?
Yeah, exactly. He's John fucking Goodman.
It's in the name.
It's in the name, man. He's good. I don't want John Goodman in Star Trek. Anyway, our boys wake up chained in a dungeon. Kirk may be a little scare-roused, but otherwise they are trapped. And as they're trying to figure out what happens, Scott and Sulu show up, and they're like, "Oh, thank God, it's Scott and Sulu. Wait, why aren't you talking? Why aren't you blinking? Why are you giving us a dead-eye stare? Ah, you fucking brainwashed."
Give them the Gen Z stare.
That Gen Z stare.
What generation would they be? Way past Z. They're in the 24th century.
Oh God, yeah. We would
Gen Gamma.
If a generation is roughly 20 years, that's 5 generations a year. So 5, 10, 15, 20. I don't know. What's 20 letters after A? Yeah, that one.
Sorry, officer. I can't even do that sober.
Gen Mega or Gen Nintendo. One of those.
Gen Starfleet.
Yeah, there we go. Gen Starfleet.
Oh, yeah. So when I was seeing them in those cuffs, the only thing I could think of is like waking up like that would hurt my neck so bad.
Oh yeah. And like hanging by your wrists is also really fucking painful. Wrists aren't designed to hold that much fucking weight.
I mean, obviously the props didn't even attach to their actual wrists, but
Yeah.
God, that would be so bad for your back.
Oh god, yeah. Which is really funny because like I think Spock tests the chain to be like, "Hey, are we chained up?" And he reaches his hand up off screen and like pretends to pull a thing. It's like, "Yeah, no, we're chained up." It's like you didn't fucking push, you didn't touch anything.
I think they also talk about, or no, it's later when after they meet the Warlock. Yeah,
Yeah.
keep going.
So Scott and Sulu are there, they're brainwashed, but they unlock them from their manacles and bring them into the Sexnasium. It
Hmm.
remember what was the Q like guy?
Trelane.
Yeah, it was like Trulane's fucking house, but like even more gaudy and really pink for some reason.
Yeah. Didn't have the salt vampire, unfortunately.
There was no salt vampire, which was a shame. Um, but it had a weird throne and everything, and a little bald warlock man sitting there welcoming them. Um, he introduces himself. He doesn't really tell them why they're there, what happened to their friends. Something that he lets slip is that they're not native to the planet.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it's a lot of Kirk asking questions and the guy not answering them. Fucking tell me if you've heard that story before.
Yeah, the godlike aliens are always just having a conversation with themselves.
Yeah. I wrote down that he's got very Reddit mod energy. I forget exactly what he said to do that, but he definitely is.
Must have said something about God not being real. Or
Yeah,
something.
probably. But eventually he magics up some food and he's like, "Go ahead, eat. McCoy, try the wine." And McCoy immediately sits down and is like, "Okay, yeah, I'll try the wine."
McCoy will try any wine, apparated or not.
He loves magic wine. It's one of his favorites.
I mean, it did work in what Trelane's episode where he's able to glean more information.
Yeah,
from
he's like,
that.
"Oh, this ain't. There's no alcohol in this fucking wine." Like you said before, the whole
So, yeah.
time he's the warlock is talking to that black cat like it's a person, and seemingly they're having a conversation that we can't hear.
I will note from the trivia section of the wiki,
Mm-hmm.
apparently the robe that he was wearing was a reused prop from Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island? What the fuck? What the hell were they
That
doing
show
on the
goes
island?
wild. Also, the person wearing it was Bob Denver.
Really?
Yeah, I guess Bob. Oh, Bob Denver is Gilligan. So.
Oh, I didn't realize that. My mom.
So, yeah, Gilligan becomes a warlock in one episode of Gilligan's
Gilligan
Island.
becomes a warlock. Sure, they find a secret society of warlocks. I'm sure. Remember when Gilligan's Island was on Nickelodeon all the time, like late at night?
Yeah, Nick at Night.
Yeah, that was a weird time. Y'all Gen Z don't know about this, but the cartoon channels used to have weird shit at night.
They used to play black and white television on Nick at Night. It was I Love Lucy.
Yep,
Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island, maybe some Honeymooners.
Did they play the Cosby Show?
I feel like they played the
Or was it some
Cosby Show
other-
at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, ugh, that didn't age well.
Yeah, Nick at Night used to show old people stuff instead of cartoons.
It's-
And as a child, that pissed me off.
That
As an
also
adult,
pissed
I wish
me
they
off.
still did that.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck, man? This is Cartoon Channel.
I had to turn to Cartoon Network at night
Yeah,
to watch cartoons. And then they replaced that with Adult Swim,
And then-
which I liked more because I was the target audience for it.
me too. I was maybe a little too young for stuff like home movies, but I loved home movies.
All movies might have warped my sense of humor as a child.
Yeah, maybe have made me less friends than if I had not watched it. John Benjamin is a treasure, though.
Yeah, my siblings, my older siblings, already ruined me by making me watch every episode of The Simpsons by the time I was like 9.
Apparently that's how you become a podcaster. So You know, maybe they were setting you up more than ruining you.
Um, yeah, what happens next?
So yeah, the uh Corn, what was his name?
Horob?
Korob.
Carib?
Yeah, he keeps talking to the cat, and then eventually he's like, "Oh yeah, cat, that's a great idea." And the cat hops off the chair to the table, goes around the corner, and then this woman in a sheer dress magically appears. No idea who that is.
She gets her dresses from the same stylist as Mirror Universe. What's her name?
Yeah, Mirror
Captain's
Universe.
Woman.
Yeah, Captain's Woman lady. Yeah, exact same fucking, and possibly even the same undergarments too. It didn't look like
I'm
there was much on under there.
Was that just the style of like negligee in the 60s?
I
Is that
think
what
I think it
women
might have
wore to
been,
be
yeah.
sexy?
That was TV sexy. That was, you can put this on
Yeah.
television.
I think Star Trek was already skirting the censors several times, yeah.
Yeah. Um so at this point Sylvia appears. She seems to be whatever the same race of thing Korob is. And she starts telling him like, "Yeah, we can do all this cool shit cuz we can do just fucking magic. It's magic. Don't worry about it. It's magic." Kirk obviously doesn't believe this because there's no such thing as magic, even though you've met literal gods who can do magic. But there's no magic. So then Sylvia's like, "All right, I'll fucking voodoo burn your crew." And she takes out this little tiny, like keychain size Enterprise and holds it up to a candle, and then allows Kirk to call the ship. And we get to see the sweatiest Chekhov you've ever seen be like, "Captain, I'm fucking burning up
yeah.
here." But in a Russian
Everybody's
accent.
getting real sweaty on that Enterprise.
Everybody's real sweaty. DeSalle and her are sweating it up.
So apparently that mini Enterprise, it looks like it's just made of metal. Apparently it was made just for this episode, and it is now in the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum.
Oh shit! Really? Damn.
Yeah, so the one that is in that, like, eventually they put it in a block of plastic to represent a force field.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same one. They just put it in a cast.
Oh,
I
is
guess
it
they did not film those scenes back to back.
okay? So it is just permanently in that plastic cast.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yep. We get one shot at this, and then we're changing it, and we're never making another one.
Yep. So they filmed that first scene, and then the next scene, I guess they filmed like a day later, probably.
That's interesting. So yeah, eventually Kirk tells her to stop, and she stops burning the ship, and they're like, "Oh, good, it's not so hot anymore." She does this with her power of telekinesis, of course.
Yeah, Shatner's known for pronouncing things weird, but I think this one's really pushing it.
I've never ever in my life heard anything close to telekinesis.
Sensors. Telekinesis.
Yeah. He might have been fucking drunk.
Wait till you hear how he pronounces Nazi.
Oh God. If it ain't Nazi, I don't know if I want to hear it.
Closer than you think.
So yeah, I think this might be the point where she encases it in the force field, or maybe that's shortly after, doesn't matter. Anyway, she's trying to convince Kirk that yes, I can do magic and voodoo and all that stuff. And then Korob starts saying things that make it sound like it's not magic, and she's like, "Shut the fuck up, Korob."
Yeah, he keeps letting too much information slip.
Yeah, he keeps letting information slip, and Sylvia's not happy. I think this is the point where they encase it in a force field, and then we cut to the Enterprise, and they're like, "Oh, there's some magic force field around us. Don't know what it is." And DeSalle, to his credit, is like, "Okay, well, let's turn the heat up on the outside of the ship and see if we can burn through it. Because I'll bet you credits to Navy beans, there's something we can do." Which is a phrase I'd never heard in my life before.
I think later in the episode, Korob's like, "Yeah, they would have got out eventually, but we need to expedite this right now."
Yeah. So it turns out you can burn a fucking magic space encompassing force field, whatever.
I think it's like another case with Apollo or Vol, where it's like these godlike beings only have a limited ability to keep this up.
Yeah, it really isn't all powerful, but you don't tell people you're not all powerful. It's like if someone asks you if
Um,
you're a god, you say yes.
yeah, I think that after that they send everyone back to the dungeons except McCoy, who's
Yeah,
getting
Sylvia wants
flattened.
information out of them, and she's like, "Look, I can get it. I can do the same thing that I did to your other guys." So then she does exactly that. They send Spock and Kirk back to the dungeon, and McCoy stays around. Um, and
Yeah,
then
so
he gets
they
brainwashed
remember when Uhura got brain wiped and had to relearn
and
everything
had to
from
relearn
scratch?
English and math. Yeah,
Yeah, but I guess these guys are just fine. We can just put it all back, no
yeah, it's
problem.
just perfectly. It's a different brainwash. Um,
Because she said she was draining them of all their information, right?
oh yeah, I think she did. Damn you, inconsistent Star Trek.
Yeah, I never really. Maybe I wasn't paying attention well enough, but I never really understood the villain's motives in this one. Like, what kind of information were they trying to get out of the crew?
Yeah, I think Sylvia just wanted information on like anything. Just
Like,
literally.
she obviously was on like a hedonistic streak, but I don't know what Korob's whole thing was.
Yeah, it's not really super clear what Korob wanted at all ever. Um, because they both clearly want different things, it seems. So
Like, they have an argument at some point where they're like, "Hey, we were sent here with a purpose, and you're
yeah,
like
something
being
about
all
the
weird
old
about it."
ones. Yeah, that's what
So,
I had that written down.
um, I think Kirk and Spock have like a discussion on like, "Hey, so these guys seem to think like all of this would be normal to us. So I think they can only touch our subconscious."
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is
Because
castles and black cats is a very universal subconscious fear for humans. So clearly that's what they're doing.
like they're just saying like, "Oh man, this is the scariest shit I've ever seen." They must have tapped deep into the human
Deep into the human psyche.
psyche to pull all of these super scary images out.
So scary.
It's just like, yeah, I guess a dank castle on black. Like, I want to know what this episode would look like if it was made today. Would it be the back rooms?
It it'd be something about student loans and the draft and um groceries it being expensive.
Would would she turn into what Toy Chica and chase them around?
No, it said scary, not horny. Come on, man.
Well, she's obviously a little both.
Yeah, a little both, as it turns out. Um, Speaking of which, I think that's when they come back and get Kirk and bring him back into the Sexnasium, and now it's just him and
Hmm.
Sylvia.
Yeah, they send a brainwash McCoy to go send him up,
Yeah. Um,
and he's like, "Ah, Bones, you too."
Not you, Bones, my best bud.
And DeForest Kelly's like, "This is the easiest paycheck I've ever earned.
I haven't had to say
It's
one
all going
racist
straight to
thing.
mint juleps."
Um, I forget what they say at first, but I know she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a woman. I'm all woman." And Kirk is like, "Nah, a woman's supposed to have compassion."
Yeah, he does a little gender essentialism there.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, she starts coming on to Kirk pretty strong. She's like, "Oh man, I got these feelings. I love physical feelings. Show me more, you fucking strange spaceman from beyond the stars." And Korob is in the background looking at her through the cuck hole. He seems very unhappy with what's going on.
Yeah, there's just these convenient holes in the wall that he can just peer at them through.
Yeah, they're Star of David shaped and made perfectly for cucking.
No, no hidden messages there.
None whatsoever. But yeah, Kirk is
She mentions a transmuter, yeah, while
yeah,
he's seducing her.
Kirk is playing into it, making out with her, and being like, "Oh man, tell me about your stuff." And she's like, "Yeah, man, I'll teach you to use the transmuter and whatever. We can be together forever." And then eventually she catches on. She's like, "Wait, you don't want to make out with me. You just want information. You fucking slut."
He's like, well, And he's like, "That's what you were doing to me.
Yeah. I
That's
was
how it feels."
That's how it feels, bitch.
She doesn't like that.
No, she doesn't. So I think she sends him back to the dungeon. Um, and then that's when Korob comes to free them. And
Yeah, and he's like, "I removed the force field. No, the prop is still the same way it was."
yeah, we're not going to show you that we removed the force field. Just take my word for it. We did. We have to get out of here because Sylvia's getting a little crazy. So he leads all of them to try and get out of the castle. Scotty and Sulu and McCoy are with them, but they're still brainwashed. I don't think they say anything.
No, I think they fight them brief. Oh, afterwards they fight them after they escape the cat.
Yeah, that's right. Because
There's
I
like a
have,
mini fight scene.
yeah, they run down a hallway and they see a shadow of a cat and they're like, oh my God, it's a giant cat. That's the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And then we get an adorable shot of a black cat crawling through a miniature set.
Yeah. It's the same cat and it's just crawling through a miniature hallway and it's adorable and it's supposed to be like fucking life threatening.
Another trivia note that will make you sad is the way they got the cat to hiss was they brought a dog onto the set to annoy it.
That is unfortunately usually how it goes. Dogs, you can kind of teach that behavior. Cats, you just have to actually piss them off.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully the cat was not harmed in any way. Physically.
It's the 60s, so I can't say.
Yeah, unfortunately. So yeah, they run away from the giant cat, and then this is where they meet still brainwashed Sulu and McCoy and Scotty, and they have a cool hallway fight scene.
Mm-hmm. It's very funny that Sulu pulls out the karate
He's
on
straight up karate stance fighting Kirk. I think doesn't Spock just like instantly nerve pinch Scotty?
Yeah, he basically nerve pinches Scotty right off the bat. McCoy has a mace.
Oh yeah, McCoy does have a super fake looking mace. And Kirk has to do a bunch of dodge rolls, very Dark Souls, to get away from it.
Which, if he was using his usual method of hypo fu,
Yeah.
I think he would have won.
Yeah, if he was allowed to use his weapon of choice, it would have been over for those two.
If he had been allowed to pull out his like Assassin's Creed hidden hypo through his missing ring finger, I think he could have won that.
Oh yeah. But yeah, eventually they subdue
pretty
them
quickly. Yeah,
and
then they all beam back. I think.
Yeah, I think they all beam back. I forgot to mention that Korob gets crushed by the cat under a door.
Oh yeah, this godlike alien gets killed by a door.
Yeah. So I think all of them get beamed back. Well, they beam back the unconscious ones, the ones that were brainwashed.
Yeah. But they get confronted by Lady.
Yeah, they get confronted by Sylvia, who proclaims that she is all women. Yeah, she like grabs Kirk and they just teleport back to the Sexnasium.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I can be anything you want. I can be all women. Just give me Korob's magic wand that he gave you.
Oh yeah, I think Kirk looted the wand off of Korob's body.
Yeah.
After he got crushed.
Yeah, he got crushed and Kirk is like, oh, this is probably important. Or I think he says that Korob like gave it to him or whatever. It's unclear.
Something like that.
But yeah, Sylvia is desperately trying to get it from Kirk and being like, you don't know how to use that. I can show you. We can be all powerful. Kirk is like, all right, here, you can have it. Bam! Smashes it on the table.
And then everything's gone.
And then everything just disappears instantly. The castle disappears. I think they're able to radio the ship again, and they're like, yeah, everything's fine. The brainwashed guys aren't brainwashed anymore. And they're just like, oh, well.
Oh, they see the puppets.
Yeah, they're like, I wonder what happened to those Korob in them. And they look down, and they're these two, like, you know those puppets that they used to make you make in school that were like popsicle sticks and colored cotton balls? Basically that.
They look kind of like the aliens from District 9, but like wearing a fuzzy dress.
Yeah. Also, like the Fraggles from Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, like a cross between those two
Yeah.
things. But they're
Um,
also like really tiny,
really tiny, like way smaller than a cat. Um,
like shrimp size,
yeah, like literally.
basically.
I bet they could fry rice real good. Um, so yeah, they're like, oh well, this must be them. Maybe we can take him back instead. Oh, they just burst into flames. Um, I think they just start mildly smoking, but they're like, oh no, they're dead.
Yeah. I think the Korob one might have already been dead.
It might, yeah. I think only the Sylvia one was like moving. It
Yeah.
in the shots where you can see them, you can very clearly see all of the strings as they're puppeting it. It's the most
Yeah.
obvious it's ever been. But yeah, they're like, okay, well, that was weird. I don't even think we get a shot of them being teleported back onto the Enterprise. The episode just fucking ends.
Yeah. I think Kirk laments that like one of their crewmen died for this
Yeah,
stupid episode.
I think they were like, oh, everybody's okay. And Kirk is like, no, one guy died.
And then the episode ends.
And yeah, yep, one guy died. The end.
Um so yeah, I don't really like this episode that much.
It's not like it's. It sure was a Halloween episode, and maybe it was popular at the time for that. But yeah, it is very much. It seems like in, and maybe this is used elsewhere, and I'm just so fucking incredibly sheltered that I don't know that. But in Magic card design, there's like bottom up design and top down design. And
Mhm.
bottom up is where you start with, all right, let's make a card that does this, and then we'll figure out the flavor afterwards. And then top down is
Mhm.
we have the flavor for a card, and then we'll figure out what it does later. Most Star Trek episodes seem to be bottom up, and this one is definitely a top down. This
Yeah.
is like we're doing a
If they
Halloween
wanted to do a
episode.
Halloween episode, they had to find a way to fit witches and black cats into Star Trek, and I
Yeah.
don't think they really succeeded in a way that's like satisfying.
Because like I was saying earlier, if this was a next generation, they would have just done Halloween on the Enterprise and like gone through a day in the life of that.
But if this was next generation, they'd have Beverly being seduced by a candle.
Okay, yeah, well that's was that also a Halloween episode?
I don't recall, but I think it was.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, after that, they'd have just done fucking trick or treating with the children of the Enterprise.
Let's see. What is the episode that the fucking ghost candle was in?
I should know because Pat talks about it all the fucking time.
Sub Rosa, that's the one.
Yeah, that's it.
Where Beverly gets seduced by her grandma's sex candle.
Her grandma's sex candle ghost. What
Her
season
Irish
is that?
sex candle. Oh, it's one of the later ones. Episode 7, number 14. Oh, it aired January 31st, 1994. So that's
Oh wow, that's a new year.
it's a Valentine's Day episode, I guess.
Oh god, it is a valid. Oh god, no, Grandma, no.
Oh,
Well,
what a ride.
what a ride. Any other thoughts on the magic of Space Halloween?
Like, as far as godlike being episodes, like this one doesn't have really anything to say
Yeah,
about
it's not.
the
If this was
nature of
like
power.
the first godlike being episode, maybe, but we've already seen so many by this point. It's not even interesting anymore.
I think the aspect of a godlike being like becoming a hedonist because it likes the pleasures of the flesh is
Yeah.
interesting, but they don't really do anything with that other than just like she's evil now because she wants sex.
Yeah, she's heard sex is pretty cool. Like if it had turned sadistic, maybe, but we don't get that far.
And like their motives are very unclear,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, nothing that's going on in the Enterprise is actually super interesting.
Yeah,
Nobody really gets any good character moments, I don't feel.
yeah, nobody tries to solve any problems on the Enterprise or anything.
It really feels like the crew is failing forward for most of the episode.
Yeah.
Nothing really clever is happening, you know.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, even with like Desal and Chekhov trying to get through the force field, Korob would have gotten rid of it anyway. So that was kind of all for nothing.
Yeah. I mean, it was really just there because putting the ship in peril is how they put a timer on things in TOS.
They did specify that it wouldn't fuck with their orbit, which is a first.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like, crew was pretty much safe for most of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to rank them?
Yeah, let's rank them. All right.
Doomsday Machine.
The Doomsday Machine.
I want to put that one. My gut says, oh, it's kind of a middle of the pack episode for me.
That's what I was thinking. I'm looking somewhere around maybe Errand of Mercy or Galileo 7.
I feel like it's about in that area, yeah.
Okay. We think better or worse than Return of the Archons?
That one has Kirk kung fuing Landru.
It does.
Yeah, maybe just below.
Okay. So above Galileo 7, below Return of the Archons?
I think it's more interesting than Galileo 7.
I agree.
A bad episode, but it's not, you know.
Yeah. It
didn't earn my Hugo.
It leaves much to be desired, but it's no cat's paw.
Yeah, cat's paw. I would put somewhere around Charlie X.
That's what I was thinking. I'm thinking below Charlie X, below Mud's Women.
Like, Shore Leave is a pretty hard cutoff for episodes that are fun but bad.
Yeah.
Everything below that is just kind of bad.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe even below Mud's Women.
You think?
I think so.
Yeah, I can see that. It does have a cat.
It does have a kitty cat. Oh yeah.
A point.
But Mud's Women is Mud.
And women.
And women. Multiples of them.
Speaking of Mud's women,
yes, what's
what
up
we got
next?
coming up next is we have I Mud.
I Mud.
And what's the next episode after I Mud? Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis.
That's not one I recall right off the bat because that title is very vague.
Yeah.
I do know that one. That one is all right, but it's actually kind of what? It's very important to the Star Trek mythos because it gets referenced a lot in the future.
I was gonna say Metamorphosis sounds familiar, like it's something I've heard before.
Does the name Zephram Cochrane mean anything to you?
Kind of, but no.
He's a character and a name that comes up a lot in the future because he's basically like the first interstellar astronaut.
Oh,
kinda.
Okay.
Yeah. So he shows up in that episode and then gets referenced a lot in the future. I think he's actually played in one of the movies.
Oh, really?
By a different person.
Ah.
But yeah. We'll see that when we see it.
We'll get there when we get there. We've got quite a few episodes.
And our third thing, I guess, was the ending of Invincible.
Yeah,
they cracked a planet.
They cracked a fucking planet. Boy, did they.
Sorry, spoilers for Invincible.
Spoilers for Invincible. If you haven't watched Invincible, but you're watching two dudes talk about Star Trek,
get with the times.
Get with it. Yeah, that was I was expecting more fighting in that last episode, but it really was more of a let's wrap things up, which kind of nice.
It was an epilogue episode, I guess.
Basically, yeah.
It's a lot of setup for the next season, is what it
It
is.
is, which would piss me off so much more if they didn't already announce the next season. So that helps a lot.
I do have to wonder what the budget of next season is gonna be,
Yeah,
because you can tell where they were, saving money on certain shots,
definitely. And like they
and you can tell
definitely,
where they were spending money on certain shots.
yeah, they definitely backloaded the budget, but you could still see like it wasn't all there.
I think they need to spend less money on like celebrity voices.
We really didn't need that many.
Well, they don't have to voice Peter Cullen anymore.
I guess that's true.
Not that he was the most expensive guy in the cast,
Not
but
even close.
um, I mean, I guess they have Seth Rogen basically for free because he's a producer on it.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
But who are the other like Thrag was voiced by fucking what's his name, Mr. MCU man.
Yeah, I keep forgetting his name.
Is fucking Ronan the Destroyer.
Lee Pace? Huh.
Lee Pace, yeah.
I didn't realize that was his name. Okay, I thought it was somebody else. That makes more sense.
I mean, he does a good job. He's not a bad actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor. It's not quite what I envisioned for Thrag, but it's good.
I feel like the way they draw Thrag is a little too baby faced, but
Yeah.
because he's supposed to look like Freddie Mercury, basically.
That's what I was thinking. He looks like a chunky Freddie Mercury. Like if Freddie Mercury
Yeah,
got an abortion.
and unfortunately, I I don't want to say on this podcast that J.K. Simmons is phoning it in, but it feels like he's lost the character.
I he I think he's a little too dour. Like it is clearly a different, more sullen, more solemn Omni-Man. But yeah, like especially when they play clips from season 1, it sounds completely different.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree. It's not better.
Um, yeah, I don't think they started announcing casting for like next season, but
Yeah, I don't think they've really announced anything except it is coming faster than before.
oh, and can I complain about Tech Jacket being useless? I don't care that she's a girl, but she's a useless character.
She's absolutely useless. Like almost everything she does is because she got something from someone else, like excluding the tech jacketness. And like the most thing she does without that is cut a guy.
Like they say it's a weapon that could kill a Viltrumite. Never does.
Have not seen it even really hurt a Viltrumite. Again, like a paper cut is the most we've seen it do.
Yeah, I think the best we see is she makes one bleed.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Mr. Space Racer did a lot more than she did.
A whole lot more.
And all he has is the one gun.
It's
a really good gun.
It's a really good gun. And a space bike.
Alan also kind of like he played like jobber role. He didn't really
a little bit, yeah,
do much.
Because what's his name was like, oh yeah, you're strong enough to kill a Viltrumite now, and like that hasn't happened without help.
Also feels like Battle Beast got nerfed.
Yeah, Battle Beast barely did anything.
Like Michael Dorn got to do a couple jokes, and then he's just kind of in the background the rest of the time.
Yeah, he gets a couple of hits in. I'm not sure if he ever really hurt any of the Viltrumites. He certainly didn't kill one.
I mean, I guess that's what happens when you bring him to a space battle and he can't fly.
That's true. If it had been then they probably would have just picked him up at some point. But this is a guy that could kill a Viltrumite, according to fucking Omni-Man, so...
Yeah, I mean, I guess in the like background shots, he did kill a few Viltrumites.
Did he?
Like 50 that were left.
Maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
Well, like when they were doing the montage of them defending planets or whatever.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
He like soloed a Viltrumite, but I guess he can't take on more than one at a time,
I
especially
guess.
not Thrag.
Yeah, nobody can fucking take on Thrag apparently.
Yeah, and Oliver got like nobody expects Oliver to be good at fighting. So
Yeah. He sure he sure looks like he should have died but didn't.
I mean, you can say that about every Ultramite.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
It's
Omni-Man didn't look that bad, but yeah.
they all love spending their time like airing out their guts like a fucking sea star or whatever, sea
Yeah.
cucumber.
And you see how few guts they pulled out of Omni-Man? He's basically fine.
Yeah. Fucking that episode with Mark and all of his guts.
Just all of his guts. He's got so many redundant fucking livers and colons. Insane.
I do think it's funny, like, obviously the pro-life crowd is really mad about the Eve abortion plotline. I thought it was funny that Mark's, like, so upset for her when, like, he got his guts torn
You
out,
got
dude.
fucking ripped to shreds. It's really funny because he gets like knocked out twice in this season, and it's like one is for a month and the other one's for like a week.
Mm-hmm. Um, I will say Eve probably made the right call because, yeah, there's no telling what's gonna happen if Mark dies out in space.
Yeah,
He
seriously.
needs our powers.
You want a fucking half Viltrumite, half fucking atom smashing baby? I don't know about that.
Uh, I mean, I guess she would probably regret it if he did die and she lost her chance to have like a part of him with
Yeah,
her. But
yeah,
tactically speaking, it was the right move to make.
yeah. I agree.
Cecil would have endorsed it.
Cecil
Probably did it.
Cecil might have done it. This gets you your powers back. I'll do it myself.
He probably showed up on her doorstep being like, "Hey, I found this in your trash."
What?
Yes, I go through your trash. I go through everyone's
I
trash.
go through everyone's trash. You're not special. Good shit.
But we also got to see Clancy Brown in an eye patch and a biker of what? Tank top?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
That's so much Clancy Brown. And hey, we've got we'll have to start up Fallout Season 2 and we'll get more Walter Goggles.
We love Walter Goggles
We
in this
love
house.
Walter Goggles.
I guess we also started a Phoenix Wright clone, which was pretty good.
Yeah, Murders on the Yangtze
Murders
River.
on the Yangtze River.
It is very
if,
good.
If you like Sherlock Holmes and are Chinese, it's for you.
Also, if you like Phoenix Wright, but you feel like there's too much of that pesky dialogue, also for you.
It is very economical with its dialogue.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a translation issue. The translation was fine, I think.
The translation was fine. I think it's just, like you were saying, the nature of being an indie game. They're not going to write a bunch of incidental dialogue that you may or may not read.
Yeah, it's not as funny as Phoenix Wright either, but that's also like
There
were a few jokes that were just untranslatable.
Yeah, there was at least one where I'm pretty sure they just fucking ignored it completely.
But like, we only played the first two mysteries, and I assume they get more complex as they go in.
Yeah.
That's how those games do. They were pretty decent locked room mysteries. The twists
were really good, yeah.
They were predictable, but in a way that, was satisfying.
Mm-hmm. And even then, like, our first predictions were wrong.
Yeah. They threw enough red herrings to throw you off until you got you had all of the evidence.
Yeah.
Which I think is good mystery writing.
It is. It's very difficult to fool someone who expects to be fooled. But yeah. I think they did a really good job of that.
Especially with the character economy they had, because they don't introduce too many extra characters.
Yeah, you really only have just like fucking your assistant and a couple of other dudes.
So like the list of suspects is pretty short, but they managed to fool you for long enough of the way
Yeah.
up to the trial, basically.
Yep, up to the final trial. I feel like that second chapter was kind of like tutorial part 2 for trial
Yeah,
stuff. So I'm very
yeah, they're
excited to
basically the
see.
same chapter,
Yeah,
but yeah.
I'm excited to see if the next chapter has multiple parts or days or anything like that.
Judging from the costume thing, I think he goes back to London town.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming is like we're gonna get a murder on a boat and then we'll be back in London.
It is very funny because they all have that like old style like Chinese braid hair
Yeah, like
that
half
looks,
bald into the really long braid.
and you can tell the main character has that too, so they put a hat on him because the aura loss would be
Yeah,
too much for a Fujoshi to bear.
it's too much for him to be too bald. And then they managed to have an
Everyone else
even
can have
younger
that
boy.
hairstyle, but our main character,
Yeah, no.
he has to have it on for cultural reasons, but we can't show that.
But then the young tech boy gets a little side braid.
We don't know what his deal is yet, but I'm assuming he's like a half British Hong Konger or something like that.
Probably, yeah. He's the Luke of the game so far.
The what? Emma Sky or whatever.
Yeah. Very yeah, I think some of his animations might have been straight up stolen from Phoenix Wright.
Yeah. Like he's not Mia Fey, he's not quite her Maya Fey.
Yeah.
He's not quite that dumb.
Thank God.
And is actually useful because he's the one who's picking your locks for
He's
you.
literally the one picking all the locks and making shit happen.
We were looking for the DLC yesterday. Apparently, I'm looking at the Steam forums. There is like an extra scenario, but it's Chinese only. They never
Oh,
translated it.
interesting. I wonder if it's new or if they just
And
didn't want to.
there's one thing that's already in the game, and they announced another DLC that I think they ended up scrapping because they couldn't get the scenario right.
Oh, that sucks.
So I think they're like reworking it from scratch, and they announced that like 2 years ago.
Two, oh fuck. Okay, yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
not getting translated then.
Yeah.
That is
What's
a
there is
shame.
enjoyable.
Yeah, it's a
If
good
you like
time.
a mystery.
If you like a mystery, you like
Has
a
nothing to
Phoenix
do with
Wright.
sci-fi or Star Trek. Sorry.
Not even a little.
Not yet, unless this turns out to be an Assassin's Creed thing.
Could be, but probably not.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, same. I think we can call this a podcast. So have yourselves a good one, everybody. We'll probably be back next week. I believe 3-day weekend next week for Memorial Day.
I believe, yeah, next week is the 25th is Memorial Day.
Yeah.
If you're an American.
If you're an American.
If you're not, you don't respect our veterans.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I didn't know you hated our veterans, non-Americans. Dicks. So yeah, probably be back with more Trek then. So see y'all soon. Bye-bye.
See ya.